and welcome to the Business Brunch. And today we're going to be talking about the fabulous Blenheim Startup Competition. And that's just to remind you all, a competition aimed at anyone who's started up a business in the last couple of years or who employs less than 5 people and are based within a radius of 20 miles of Blenheim. It's there to encourage and support startups. And the prize for the winner is the amazing opportunity to become a customer of Blenheim. And we all know when you start up a company how hard it is to get customers, especially really good quality and important ones. So fabulous prize for the winner of the competition. I think we should do some introductions first. So Dom, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'm Dom. I'm Chief Executive at Blenheim Palace and the Blenheim Estate.
Thank you very much. Jessica?
I'm Jessica. I'm the founder of Wild and Fine Jewellery.
Great. Judy?
I am Judy Bendel. I'm head of retail at Blenheim Palace.
Thank you very much. Hannah?
I'm Hannah Rogan. I work with Jess at Wild and Fine Jewellery.
Great stuff. And I'm Gary Frank. I sold my own business 7 or 8 years ago, and now I work with startups, do a bit of mentoring, a bit of non-exec, a bit of angel investing, and I'm absolutely delighted to be involved with Blenheim on this competition. The format's going to be, we're going to have a few questions, a bit of a discussion, and I think we've got about 20 minutes or so to go through it. So let's kick off. And Dom, maybe I can start with you. A little bit of background. Why did Blenheim decide to launch the competition, and why is this important for you guys?
So a few years ago, Blenheim set out on a journey to try and kind of prove the value of something like a landed estate to the world around it. You know, what was unique about a landed estate compared to a normal business or the public sector or social enterprise. And one of the things that's really is important to us is the vibrancy and the strength of the economy around us. We are exposed to so many different businesses and we have so many complex interactions with the world around us. It is far better for us to be a really good stimulus in the local economy that will help all of our businesses in the long run. So we have a purpose statement for Blenheim, which starts off by saying we want to be the lifeblood of the local economy. And we have specific goals that we live to over 10 years, the first of which is to treble our contribution to the local economy. Now, a really important way we can boost the local economy is using the kind of wealth of assets we have and the strength and the gravity of the visitor attraction business in particular to promote new local businesses. And on one level, we do stuff like systematically over time insisting on spending our money in that 20-25 mile radius because we think we can genuinely lift many businesses. But we also know that for 1 or 2 really special businesses, we can put like all of Blenheim's capabilities to work and help them in that fragile startup moment that you talked about earlier. So it isn't just a question of listing them in the shop, albeit that's an important shop window to well over 1 million people a year. But it's also saying, well, for each business, it's almost a unique thing. What other Blenheim things can we do to help? Whether that's giving them space at the very big consumer shows that we put on, the markets, that kind of thing, or is it help that can be given by our marketing team or our web and digital team to get that part of their business going? Is it something we can do in the conference and banqueting team to help them do a startup or a thank you event or anything like that? There's loads of different bits of Blenheim. It's actually difficult to summarize what's on offer because Blenheim is so complex that depending on who the winning business is, we ought to be able to get everyone at Blenheim to step in and say, well, what can you do to help this winner? And if for each of those businesses, 1 a year, we can really make a difference. So instead of being one of that, that tragic statistic that says, 7 in 8 new businesses fail in 1 or 2 years, if we can really lift them up so that 7 in 8 of them ought to flourish, then that would be a hugely worthwhile thing. And it's something that Blenheim people are really connected with. And I have to say, Gary, you look back at all we missed out on in the pandemic year, And one of the things I missed the absolute most was seeing the vibrancy of new business startups and that kind of agonized choice over, oh my God, there's 12 amazing applicants here in the final round. How do we sift and choose one to help? And we missed that very much. And I know it's been a traumatic year for new businesses too. So I'm so thrilled that one of the first things that we can do as we come out of lockdown in 2021 is get this competition launched, and let's get our weight behind a really worthwhile new business.
Absolutely, Dom, and you know, totally right. This competition is more necessary than ever, because for any startup, it's hard enough, but no one in their business plan writes as a risk analysis contingency, the whole world is going to come to a standstill for a year, and how are we going to deal with that? So,
Right.
So yeah, you giving this opportunity, and sadly, only you're right. We have such good quality applicants. It's always hard to choose the one to go forward with. You'd want to help all of them really, because they all deserve a chance and a crack at it. But
well, I recall in year one, I think we completely failed.
yes.
One. And we went with two.
Well, why not? Can I move to Jessica and Hannah? Because they were the winners, but obviously last year the competition didn't run, so they were the winners the year before. Would you just talk us through a little bit your experience of going through the competition, how that felt, and obviously winning it, and what difference that's made to your businesses? I don't know which of you wants to.
I'll take that question, because I found the information about the startup competition on a business networking group I'm on Facebook just before the deadline, and sent it to Jess and went, "What do you think? Shall we try this for Wild and Fine?" And so we entered on a whim, and then we're quite surprised to find we'd been shortlisted a little while later, and it was, you know, really nice to come in for the day and meet the other businesses in the area that have been shortlisted, and to see what else was going on in the area, because you get very, you know, focused on what you're doing, and it's really nice to see all the other things that, you know, might be going on in the area. And then you know, we neither of us are terribly confident at public speaking, and to be given the opportunity to be coached in how to present what we were doing, which we knew, you know, at the back of our hand, but, you know, nobody else did, and to have the opportunity to be coached about how to do that, and to present what we do to other people was really valuable. Nerve-wracking, but very valuable. And then on the night itself, where we had to do the presentation, we were both, you know, pretty terrified, but it was, you know, a really empowering thing to be able to stand up and explain what we did and why we wanted it to win the startup competition, and then to be absolutely delighted to have won. But that really did only feel like just the beginning, because we've got so much out of it since then. You know, having a spot at the Christmas market and at Country Fire, which, you know, we'd never have had otherwise, has been really fantastic for the brand. And we've even, you know, we've even continued to get support through the pandemic, with being able to be listed in the online shop and things. So we've really felt that Blenheim's really, you know, held our hand through this first bit of the business.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And how have you survived the last year? Obviously, the shop has been closed for most of that time. Have you managed to...
Email campaign. Yeah, we've been focusing on online sales, and they've been going pretty well. So we're looking forward to getting back to events, because, you know, that's where the inspiration for doing the next thing comes from. You know, it's lovely to talk to people and see what they'd like you to be doing, and to just, you know, get their feedback on what we've already got. So nice to be back to events we're struggling on.
And Judy, if I can turn to you, you run the retail operation at Blenheim. So what are you looking for the people, the companies that enter, and what company makes a good partnership with Blenheim?
Obviously, we love working with local new companies and suppliers. It's really looking at what works with the shop, but also what works with the brand, because, you know, we're looking at sustainability. We're looking at what people do when they come shopping at Blenheim Palace, and what do they want to take away when they've come shopping and what's reminded them of their shop as well. And especially with some of these local products we've been doing with the startup companies, because we've been really, the guys have been really excited with them and really been behind them. We love developing and supporting the companies as well. And when we're explaining to our guests, you know, the last year things, this is a local jewelry company, you know, they live around the corner, it's all handmade. We're talking about them looking at doing some more products which is related to Blenheim, like some of the oaks and the Blenheim keys and things. So it's really, you've really got that gel together with it. And it's the same with the other companies, you know, it's companies and people around, local people, which we're supporting. And yeah, getting that right blend, which really works well. And we love trying to support people and seeing where the business goes, what we can do to help, how we can improve their business, and hope they can move on into bigger, better things as well.
Fantastic. And in terms of talking now to people who are thinking of applying, what would you say, what do they need to do to stand out? What is it that really would get you interested and potentially get them into the final round? What would you say?
I think we're always looking at something really different that perhaps we haven't done in the shop before. There's been some businesses who come in who have already had a business, they might have had it for a year, 2-3 years, they're already established. We want to look at something who perhaps hasn't been quite so established. What can we do to almost get them off the starting blocks? Because it is so difficult in businesses of, you've got this fantastic business idea, but how do I get it into retail or into store, or where do I start? So we're really keen on looking at people who are at that stage where we can really help them and so develop their business going forward, really.
And Dom, what about you? Same sort of question. What is it that would get you really excited about being the right kind of application, the right kind of startup?
Oh, that's a good one. There's a bit of me that wants to move out of retail mainstream and find someone out there who we can use elsewhere on the estate, and they can become a kind of test case for the way our gardens team works or our forestry teams work, or something like that. But I appreciate that's not where most new startups sit. But I would certainly love someone who we could do a little bit more than, market conventionally, put in the shop, host events. What would be lovely to find someone who can develop product with us, with some of the other unique estate entities. Right. We build and sell a lot of new homes at the moment. So, for example, to find someone who could also supply people who are new to the area with as they kit out their new homes, that would be very nice as well.
All right, that would be quite radical. That sounds very exciting.
It is such a vibrant area, and I think I'm always bowled over by the sheer breadth of the applications that come. And each year, the struggle has been to say no to people rather than to find one that you think, oh, that's really, really special. I have to say, as an aside, I also think over time, the importance of local sourcing grows and grows. And yes, it's partly sustainability, but it's also, I think, people's purchasing decisions are changing. And I think more and more Blenheim's visitors are becoming local. Certainly in this year, we don't expect to see an international audience for sure. So it'll be a more local audience. And I think that local audience finds local, especially handcrafted products, very, very special indeed. And I think their purchasing choices will reflect that. So it would be great for us to be a platform, particularly in this year, for someone who has that right product.
That is a really interesting point. And of course, one of the things the pandemic has thrown up is the issues with global supply chains. And you're right, there's also the whole sustainability eco question of, do we really need to be shipping things halfway around the world when we could be making them right on our doorstep? And which of course is exactly what that Jessica and Hannah are doing, in terms of they are making this for you right on their doorstep. Is that an important element for your business, Jessica and Hannah, that this local element, or would you like to be supplying all around the world, everywhere?
Sorry, I'll let Jess take that.
I mean, our operation is always very small. work in kind of, yeah, in a really small radius. Of course, it would be lovely to have suppliers all over the world. We wouldn't say no to that, but part of what we do is working on a small geographical scale. So, you know, that's important to us. We're big on recycling. We don't use plastic. We try and do our best for the environment and do the right thing, even if, you know, we can't do everything. I think it's quite important, especially now.
Mm-hmm. And have you found that working with Blenheim has kind of helped your business, not just from the point of view of having a big customer like that, but in terms of perhaps giving you the confidence to approach other retail outlets, or just in terms of how you run the business? Have you found there's, you know, just as a result of working from them, there have been sort of secondary benefits?
It's been a huge confidence booster, and it's obviously, you know, when you're trying to work on a small scale, you can doubt yourself. It's difficult to have the confidence to put yourself out there. But with the backing of Blenheim and winning this competition, it has just enabled us to feel that we have the confidence to go out into the world, even though we've not really been able to this last year. When we can again, I think it's more confident.
Great stuff. And Judith, not just with Jessica and Hannah, but with some of the other winners and some of the other the startups that you've worked with, what have you found you've been able to do to help them on their journey, as it were?
I think some of it, like Jessica said, because working Jessica and Hannah was fantastic. We think they're very confident and really know what they're doing. But some of them hadn't been as confident, and it was helping them get open other doors. So we're a member of the treasure houses, for example. So we were able to open doors out to maybe they could stock it in all the other treasure houses. You know, we have great contacts with lots of different buyers from lots of different museums and things. So we have a really good contact list, which we can share with the guys, so we can really open up the business. Like Neves Bees, we did 2-3 years ago. You know, she's at all sorts of places now. She's working with other treasure houses, lots of other local suppliers, but other contacts we've got. So we've been really able to open the doors to the startup companies, which has been great for them, because you don't always get that opportunity. You need someone who's got contact details of other buyers and things you could recommend them to. So with some of them, we've really been able to help achieve their goal as well. And like Jess said, trying to use our website, which is all very new. So we can really try and elevate their companies and really open the doors for them, so they can get the opportunity, which you just don't normally get. You knock on all these doors and everyone says no, no, no. You need to get to the people, so then we've got the contacts to hopefully try and help them for their future business.
I think it's a really important point to emphasize for anyone who is thinking of applying, that I think just going through the process is useful. I think, as you said, Hannah, just meeting other businesses who are in the same position is really useful. Then going through the pitching presentation and you kind of dive into your business in a little bit more detail, I think that's helpful. But most of all, of course, this only applies to the winner, is that the prize isn't just about getting a listing in the shop. It's about all the support and the infrastructure that goes with it. And I know you guys, Judith, and your team really put a lot of effort into supporting the winners and helping them to open doors in other ways. And when you're starting up, that kind of help is just priceless and unfortunately not easy to access always. So it's fantastic that really is part of the package for the winners. I don't know, Jessica and Hannah. I think, Jessica, we've lost your audio, but Hannah, anything to add on that note, just in terms of the extra benefits of having won the competition? Oh, I think we've lost Hannah as well, unfortunately.
You lost me.
I think I might have lost both of you now. Sorry about that. Maybe that's probably a good point to bring our chat to a conclusion. Dom, a few last words to finish off with.
I'd just like to say, firstly, it's great to see Hannah and Jessica still flourishing. It's been so hard in the last year for businesses large and small. We're so proud of our relationship with them and of the beautiful products they make. And I can't wait to see more of them. And we look forward to kind of replicating that with the winners of this year's competition. Like I say, we missed it hugely last year, this ability to work with new, vibrant enterprises. I have to stress this, we learn as much from the winners as they've ever got from us. So for us, it's part of our lifeblood to continue doing this. And so thank you, Gary, for your support. I'd encourage anyone listening to get an entry in at blenheim.org. The details are there. We can't wait to see you and work with you.
Great stuff. Judy, any last words for potential entrants?
No, it's just been like Dom said, it's been so hard with this COVID last year. There's so much more we would like to do with Jess and Hannah, which we will do now we start opening up as well. Because we've been shut most of the time. And there's so much more we can do with the product and with Blenheim, what we want to look at too. So we're still excited. We're still working with all these startup companies we have done the last couple of years. We're still working with them, how we can develop them. And yeah, looking forward to the next one, but still nurturing and working with the guys we're still working with as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, thank you to all. So just to remind anyone who's thinking of entering, do it. It's blenheim.org. If you've started up your business within the last 2 years, or you employ less than 5 people and you're based within 20 miles of the palace, then you are eligible to enter. Even filling in the entry form is a worthwhile process because it gets you to think about your business. And obviously we've heard from Jessica and Hannah the benefits of actually winning. So on that note, thank you again. Thanks to Blenheim. Thanks to Wild and Fine. Thanks to B4. Everyone keep well, and hopefully as we emerge from this madness, we are soon back to business as usual.
Can't wait.
Bye for now.
Take care. Bye-bye.